Welcome back to Mobile Suit Highlights. Today we'll cover the Gundam Astray Blue Frame 2nd L, piloted by Guy Murakumo from Gundam Seed Astray. For a 2000 cost suit, the Blue Frame has pretty solid options when it comes to its weapon layout. It definitely has some nasty surprises, and its damage output can be quite deadly. It's armed with a beam rifle for its primary attack. There's nothing too significant about it, but don't over-rely on it too much since the ammo is limited. So you can definitely run out of ammo really easily if you're not paying attention to it. Charge Shot A turns tactical arms on its back into a Gatling gun that can be slowly turned left and right. Don't worry about it too much though, because it sucks. Charge Shot B on the other hand is pretty good, but it's a one-time deal. Once it's fired, it is permanently gone unless you die and respawn. AB fires off a shot from the Blue Frame's bazooka which pushes the enemy into the air on impact, so it can be followed up with beam rifle shots for additional damage. One of the great tools that the Blue Frame has is AC, which causes it to throw its tactical arms to the enemy. It travels similar to a boomerang and can be thrown to multiple directions, and some of them suspend the tactical arms in place for a few seconds for additional hits. Additionally, it has the property of cancelling any projectiles coming at you if the tactical arms hits it. The melee moveset Blue Frame has is alright for its damage output, but the only thing I would really concern myself with is its side melee, because this actually causes the unit itself to move around the opponent, which makes it more difficult to cut during it. If you can help it, try to end melee combos with it. BC is perhaps the biggest threat on this unit. It turns its tactical arms to its sword form and does a ton of damage if it connects. Because of the very slow travel speed though, proper usage of it is very situational and requires a bit of timing. All forms of it have super armor properties. I don't know exactly how many hits it takes to cancel it, but it is a decent amount. The only form of BC I find to be underwhelming is the 2 BC melee counter, but on top of all this though, BC can be rainbow cancelled out of if a mistake occurs. Blue Frame should really stay in the mid-range unless you really need damage up close. Keep the unit at the edge of your red lock range, and if you do have Charge Shot B at hand, try to capitalize on its one-time usage by using it as a follow-up off of a beam rifle hit confirm. So let's get things started. We have Infinite Justice and Zakukai as our opponents, with Gunner Zaku as our partner. The beginning of the match with Blue Frame is really all about feeling out your opponent and observing and harassing them from your red lock range to see what kind of playstyle they have. From there, you can determine the risk versus reward ratio on getting in and maximizing your damage. What you really want to be wary of though in this matchup is the positions of Zakukai's grenades. They do a surprising amount of damage from a 1000 cost suit. Just really be careful of them, because they do have a big area of effect explosion on detonation as well. You also want to be careful of the way you approach with the Blue Frame. It can take some damage but really suffers from being locked onto by both enemies, since it doesn't have any tools to really fend off one and then concentrate on the other. Unless you connect its AC, the tactical arms throw, on one opponent to stall them for like the meantime so your partner can get to them. Always look for opportunities to use the sword form of tactical arms off of enemy mistakes. The Infinite Justice in this matchup really relies on its beam rifle for harassment. It has like other tools that it can use for that, and it's just asking to be punished by the tactical arms sword form because of its super armor. Throwing the tactical arms isn't only utilized in hopes to hit the opponent with it, it can manipulate their movement as well. If you want the enemy to land in a certain area for your partner to get a clear shot on them, the AC throw will definitely be a sufficient reason for an enemy to go the way you want them to. They can always boost dash jump over it, of course, but it really depends. I mean, it works sometimes, not always, but it's definitely a good reason to just try it out and see if the opponent falls for it, to see what kind of player they are. In this next match, we'll see more of an aggressive kind of playstyle for the blue frame because Xe is our partner. We can't really rely on excellent mid-range support from Gunner Zaku from the last match. Instead, we'll have to go against it this time. The beginning of the match is already a bit rough for me. Opponents that stay strictly in their optimal red block region, especially Luna Maria, are hard to get in on with this suit. Make sure to keep up the harassment from your beam rifle and bazooka shots because Luna relies on positioning over quick instantaneous movements to really dish out the damage. You also want to be wary of your grenades that can stun you on impact, which leaves you wide open for additional shots. So right now, Infinite Justice and Luna are really well coordinated with their attacks, focusing on our partner, and then focusing back on me. It's never like they're one's focusing on one and the other's focusing on another. It's always both of them ganging up on one person. So just really be careful of that, because like I said last match, blue frame really struggles with that. So when you're obviously in red HP with blue frame, you really want to try to get back as much as you can while still, making openings for your partner to really get in, especially with this team that likes to focus on one and then go after another, like in sync. So really rely on your EX gauge for that to really move faster around, make sure you're harder to hit. So basically the point is stay alive. I mean, it's not a big deal who dies first in a 2000-2000 team, because none of you will get hit with cost over. But still, it's all right to try to get as much as you can, try to deal as much damage as you can before dying to the opponents. So now both of us are dead. Next death will be the end of us, but we're both full life right now. So it's gonna be a pretty, we're not sealing the deal immediately. I don't want to get too cocky or too overconfident, because anything can happen, especially with sloppy play. But it's pretty much in the bag at this point. So there you go. Personally, I like 2000 cost units. They're probably they're not the most effective, but they're the safest cost because of no cost over. So now we're moving to the third match. We're going against Sanandra and Adolphur. I have Double O Riser as partner. This can be a very scary team because both units, especially Adolphur, make it seem like they can boost forever. Of course, that's not the case of break canceling, but they're very mobile, very agile. So now it's just we're at a safe distance. Double O Riser and I are just harassing Sanandra, making sure to keep Adolphur in check. Be very careful about Adolphur's offense against you because it can hit you from, well, pretty long range because of its various artillery shells. So Adolphur's out, it'll come back and then make use of tactical arms, of course, with its super armor, as Sanandra tried to get in too close to blue frame, got punished for it. Here comes Adolphur. The smoke screen is a very tricky thing to go up against because your tracking onto Adolphur is so screwed up when the smoke screen is on. So of course, I don't know, my personal preference against it is to stay away from it, like focus on the other opponent and hopefully you can dodge Adolphur's shots, because I'm not sure exactly how to get around the smoke screen. Of course, since Double O Riser's a 3000 unit and you're 2000, ideally you want it to die first. But that doesn't need to happen because this was a pretty fast match. That caught me by surprise, actually. So for the finale of this episode, we have a very Astray-styled finish, we have Red Frame as our partner with Zips by TM Revolution as the background music. We have Quanta Infinite Justice as our opponents. We're opening up with a CSA into CSB combo. I don't know why, but well, I guess we'll roll with it. Right now we have excellent harassment, beam rifle to bazooka shots from the borderline region, red line region for blue frame. It's actually very well done. Very nice AC throw to Quanta. It hit, so it let him harass Infinite Justice for a few seconds. So now, like, especially for this team, blue frame and red frame, just keep on harassing them from like mid range. Don't get in too close with them. I notice a lot of red frames like to go in too fast at the very beginning. I know you don't have a lot of options in your weapon arsenal, but it's important to not get surrounded by these two. Especially right now when you're in the buildings and they're both focusing on you. You have to get out of there. Watch, the building even serves as an obstacle for him that he had to boost dash jump right over right away. So now, more AC throws, more beam rifle to bazooka harassment. It is insane how fast this guy can cancel those into one another. Another charge shot A, I have no idea how he's doing it. If anyone knows why, please tell me. Because I want charge shot A to be good, but it's not, unfortunately. So now we're at yellow health. With blue frame, might want to back off just a little bit, but we're alright for right now. Activating EX burst to refill his gate, boost again, and then just going back into his comfortable mid-range for the beam rifle and bazooka shots. Alright, so overall, the Gundam Astray blue frame 2nd L is definitely a very good, solid unit for the 2000 cost suit class. It's basic in a sense. It doesn't have really too many tricks up its sleeve, but what it does for its range, it does well. It does have pretty decent beam rifle and bazooka damage. Tactical arms makes it a danger up close, but it is situational, and that's about it for Gundam Astray Blue Frame 2nd L. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really sorry for the week delay. The episode for Susanowo will be up shortly this week. I want to say either later today, in a couple hours. If like the worst situation happens, like it'll be up by Sunday, I swear. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. The next polls are at the Costover forums. It's all in the description. I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys.